Hi everyone, welcome back to Legally Yours. I'm here again with the absolutely incredible Bronwyn and Alison from Lacuna Legal. And in this video, we're actually going to deep dive a little bit about how the service works and the support service and how you can actually engage their services. So thank you very much for joining me again, Alison and Bronwyn.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. Okay, so Alison, we might start with you. So let's do a bit of a role play. So I have been in private practice, say, for 10 years. I've got a couple of children in primary school, and I've just decided that I just want to start my own firm. I'm finding I'm not getting the balance that I need to be able to have a fulfilling home life and a professional career, but I still love being a lawyer. So I come to Lacuna Legal. What would be the first thing that you would be saying to me? Let's talk through that.
The first thing, Karen, is testing what it is that people really want. Often when we first meet with people, it's really a cry for help. They're unhappy, they're stressed, they're at the absolute limit. And they don't really know what they want, they just know what they don't want. And that's what they're doing now.
Yes.
So what we really try and do is just sort of work out where people are. Sometimes the first thing you've got to do is just some immediate triage to get people back on an even keel, just getting some help in their lives so they can actually get back into a headspace where they can even have a moment to think about what it is that they might want. And you've got to be really careful of making rash decisions, just throwing in a good secure job when you've got a mortgage and thinking that you will do something else. So we are very keen on sort of getting people into a space where they can actually make sensible decisions and have got sort of time to do that, headspace to do that, and the information that they need to do it.
I love that. So that's almost sort of the first step, is that real sort of coaching care that you put behind that to make sure that they're doing it for the right reasons and this is the right path, which I love. And obviously both Alison and Bronwyn, you have the experience to really kind of help them navigate through that, which I love. So then Bronwyn, over to you. So yes, we've worked out that this is definitely what I'd like to do. So you work with two different types of clients, don't you? You work with ones that are coming right from setup, and then you work with ones that potentially are trying to free up more of their time, so they may have been operating their own firm for a while. So let's talk through what's the setup process that you do with someone like that.
So Karen, we spent quite a bit of time working our way through what that process looked like and understanding what services we could provide, where we would need support to provide those services, and also just what boxes they need to tick. What practice management certificates do they need? What law society do they have to, obligations do they have to comply with? So there's all that kind of functional piece, but there's also a big piece of work around what they want that firm, their new firm, to look like.
Yes.
So, what's their logo? What's their website? What's their collateral? Who are their clients going to be? Perhaps most importantly, what's going to differentiate them in the market? So we do a lot of work around that, and a lot of work around, I guess, their expectations, what they're looking to achieve, and also some accountability, because it's easy. Lawyers love detail. So we often find that people can get caught up in a lot of detail, and just to have someone to sort of pull them out of the weeds and say, well, hang on, swapping those two words around on the website might not make a difference. Let's just put it out there and see how it goes. That was my own experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, and I assume you're also dealing with, because lawyers tend to be a type A personality where we're quite perfectionists, and I think I see a lot of paralysis as well, where they will agonize and they'll hold off launching because everything's not perfect, and it's like, so
right
to launch. So I can absolutely see having both yourself and Alison and Lacuna behind you, really being able to kind of say, look, we can always change that word in the order down the track if we need to. So then what about helping lawyers who have been established and they have got their own firms, but perhaps they're kind of entering into a life where they're thinking, I need to pull back a bit? What do you do with those, and what services do you provide?
With those lawyers, what we tend to do when they first join us is actually sit down and look at how they spend their time during a day. Time is really important to everybody. We all get the same amount no matter who we are. Lawyers learn that value really quickly on, but they sometimes don't equate value like for like, I guess. So they may want to run their own, practice management system, but those things aren't always easy to run, and if you get into zero and things like that, that can easily eat up a significant chunk of time. So sitting there and working out with them, first of all, which parts of the practice they want to do and which parts they do really well and which parts will earn them money. Because let's not forget, we're a business, we want to make money. And what are the parts that they can actually hive off to us that will be economical, both in terms of time and expenses that we can do for them, so they can spend that time. They either go and spend that time with clients, business development, building the business, or they go and do something else that they want. It might be gardening time at the beach or spending time with the family.
Sounds fantastic. I love it. And you actually have sort of an arsenal of support people that you then bring to the table. Is that right? That's how it works?
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're not experts in everything. We do some things really well, but as we say to our lawyers, you do what you do well, we'll do what we do well. And if we need something else, we have people to help us with that.
I love it. Such an valuable service. It really, really is. So then what happens, Alison, I'll throw to you. What else do you provide once, someone's set up their firm or they're getting those extra hours? What does Lacuna then provide sort of on an ongoing basis around, that kind of support?
It is interesting that when people are sort of first setting up, they're actually really focused on sort of the physical services, as they should be, because they need to run a firm, and they're really not thinking about the sense of community that they, going to get a bit of cabin fever. They're not thinking about that at all. They're not thinking so much about, do they need a little bit of mentoring and guidance in their career? So what we find after time is initially people put their effort into sort of the setup and the physical support and getting it happening. But then they start to gravitate towards, the sort of the softer services, that sense of community, that check-in, that little bit of mentoring from some senior practitioners who've, been around for a long time and, seen a lot, experienced a lot. So we find that is what people tend to look for. And the difference with Lacuna is that you're getting someone who's really is doing it for you. They're not doing it because it's for the betterment of the firm that you work for someone else's betterment. You really are looking at ways to make your practice hum in the ways that you want it to hum and take it to places where you want to take it to. And Bron is wonderful at holding people to account. She's very gentle, but she holds your feet to the fire on what you've said you're going to do. It's a great skill.
I love it. So Bronwyn, talk me through then your role within that as well, and how you do hold them to account and that support, ongoing support.
Sure. It's actually my favourite part of the role. I nearly 10 years ago now first did an executive coaching course and just discovered that the value I could bring to people and their lives through helping them have the space to think and actually forcing them to think things through. I found from my own personal experience that there was, the tough decisions, it's very easy to bury them and not ever make them. But the life is always better after you have made them. A decision made is a very good thing. So I work a lot with people doing that, whether they're in sort of larger firms, whether they're practicing by themselves, but just to make sure that we are moving forward, because it's very easy to become stuck. And when you become stuck, and we're seeing a bit of this, I think, at the moment in the situation we are, when you become stuck, you tend to get in your own head, which is never a good place to permanently be. So trying to move people out and think about their clients, what help are they needing? What could you be doing to make life better for them, and just really changing that focus and making sure they do what they say they're going to do.
Which is fantastic, because I think sometimes when you are you've come from perhaps a big tier environment and you've set up on your own, that's something that does get lost in that process. And even Alison, that bouncing off of ideas, and even though most lawyers tend to be fairly introverted, when they do enjoy that, I've got something and I need to just run that idea and let's talk about the intricacies of the law or the legislation, and when you are on your own. So I love the fact that Lacuna also, provides that sort of bounce back, accountability, team atmosphere. It's just amazing. So look, we are so incredibly excited to be channel partnered with Lacuna Lacuna Legal and have you as part of our family. And if this service is resonating with you and it's something that you would like to explore further, I'd really encourage you to head to lacunalegal.com.au. You can contact Bronwyn and Alison there and they can talk you through the process, or you can also find them on our platform at LegallyYours.com.au. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.